Hello everyone, hope everyone's doing well. So, been quite a while since my last video. No particular reason, just that it was Easter and bank holidays and work was busy, so I didn't really get a chance to film anything in particular, but I do have a few records. I've been out and about a little bit. So, without further ado, so there's quite a few, so I probably won't go through everyone in detail. So I'm going to start off with, so in my last video I had a couple of Cocteau Twins albums that I picked up, and not long after that I went back into the same shop and they had another one. So again, it's Cocteau Twins. This is Treasure from I think this is kind of into the 90s now, so it's, yeah, later than the other Cocteau Twins albums I had. So lovely sleeve and lovely inner cover. Actually no, it's 1984, so it's earlier than I thought. Yeah, they didn't really last long into the 90s actually, now I think about it. So yeah, custom label there. So yeah, Cocteau Twins kind of, I don't know, dream pop, kind of ambient style music from Scotland, and fairly unusual pickup this, as in I've not seen anything from them in charity shops apart from these few ones. So I believe this was probably about £8 from this particular shop, which is a bit more than I would normally pay, but I think it's probably worth it. It's the inner sleeve needs a bit of gluing, but the record itself is pretty good. It's a nice cover, so I was happy to get that. From the same shop at the same time, I also found this Tangerine Dream album. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce what the name is, but yeah, this is so they're a German kind of experimental electronic group. From 1973 this was recorded. It's a lovely gatefold cover. So the first track is the first side is basically all the same song, which is I think it's like the title track. It's on Virgin. So yeah, I'd say they're a German band, the early 70s, quite ahead of their time, it seems. And I think they must have had some influence on Bowie when David Bowie was over in Germany, because I think one of the songs on here reminded me a lot of one of the songs on Bowie's Low album, the kind of electronic ambient sounds. So again, I think this was not really seeing anything like this in the charity shops previously. I think this was about £6 or so. And the final one, so this was all in the same. This shop had these two, and it also had this Stills and Young band album. So this is Neil Young. So it's one of the kind of various permutations of Neil Young, Stills, Nash, Crosby, etc. But this is just Stills and Young. I think like half of the songs are written by Stills and half of them by Young. Yeah, it's got kind of like a frame texture around there. I don't think there's much interesting to see inside apart from the lyrics. So yeah, not bad little pickup. Those three, I think I paid somewhere, I think it was less than 30 quid for the three of them on that particular day. A few kind of slightly more mediocre pickups. There's a couple of new wave albums by the band After the Fire, or ATF. Yeah, it's kind of like a new wave, kind of early 80s band. So there's this one, Batteries Not Included, and Laser Love, which includes the hit singles. Apparently, Laser Love and One Rule for You. I think their definition of hit single is probably slightly different to what I would consider a hit. Yeah, I'll kind of show these at the same time. There's not not a lot to say about them really. They're not amazing pickups, but I think they're only a few quid, so I can't really go too wrong. Certainly worth a listen anyway. I also got this album by YNT, Down for the Count. See what they did there? Down for the Count. So this, yeah, I mean, this is another kind of mid-80s. You can probably tell by the hairstylings here that these are kind of, well, they're kind of listed as a heavy rock band, but I think this is a bit more commercial kind of, yeah, typical mid-80s kind of rock stuff. Not particularly challenging, but you kind of know what you're getting, and yeah, that's not too bad, I guess. A few more albums to go. So this is a bit more, I kind of paid a bit more on this. So this is Steve Hackett off of from Out of Genesis, and this was his first solo album, I think. So I think Genesis were on a break at this point, and a few of them released kind of solo works. Yeah, so this is his. Nice artwork. Gatefold. So it's so then Genesis obviously in these days are kind of proggy rather than what they became later on. And Steve Hackett had actually left by the time they were kind of mega successful. This is more on the kind of prog side of things, but not kind of over the top and bloated like the genre can be a bit sometimes. It's actually got, so I think, yeah, so it says there Phil Collins is guesting on one of the songs as Sally Oldfield and Mike Rutherford from Genesis as well. So this is, yeah, Charisma. So I've paid £10 for this, which more than I would normally like to pay from a charity shop, but it is in pretty good nick, and I've not seen this before, so I thought that was probably worth doing. I thought I had another album as well. Oh yeah, I forgot to get this one out. It's going to remind me of this one. So yeah, this was another recent one. I'm not going to, again, Michael, I don't know the name, Michael O'Martian, White Horse. Mainly got it because I like the cover art, and it looked quite interesting. Got inside yes, the gatefold, got lyrics, pictures. It's kind of funky, kind of jazzy. It does have kind of Christian rock elements to it, but I didn't really mind that too much. Yeah, I was quite pleased with this one actually. I think so. He's like a keyboardist producer, has worked with lots of different bands, including Steely Dan, I think. A couple more albums to go. Not hugely interesting. Marillion live album. See this one quite a lot actually, but never got around to picking it up. So it's the earlier Marillion stuff when the lead singer was still Fish, and it's based around their first couple of albums. So it's not got many songs on for a live album, but they're longer songs obviously. Recorded in Leicester and Canada. Yeah, this was only a few pounds. Gonna add into my Marillion collection. Utopia with Todd Rundgren. I always get confused between Todd Rundgren and Dolph Lundgren for some reason, but this is Todd Rundgren. This is early 80s rock. Not too bad. I see it around quite a lot, but I thought I'd finally take the plunge and pick it up for a few quid. And actually, I'll just do a couple more, just to kind of get things kind of rounded up. As this, yeah, again, this is not especially interesting. It's Pet Shop Boys. It's a bit knackered, but it's got quite a few hits on. What have I done to deserve this? Rents, It's a Sin, Shopping. So this was a £5 from a kind of antique centre, which seemed reasonable enough. I mean, it's not the best shape, but that's probably okay. Alan Parsons Project. So I don't actually know much about this band. Another kind of prog thing from the early 70s from Alan Parsons. This was yeah. So I think again this was from a vinyl record stall at an antique centre, and reasonable shape. And I think it's £7, but that seemed like a pretty good deal. I'm not going to bother. So yes, I haven't bothered opening up all these records unless there's something particularly interesting to show inside. It's quite nice. So I think the artwork on this was designed by Godley and Cream, actually. It says somewhere on there. Yeah. Fine. So actually, this is not an album, but I also got this Marillion picture disc, uninvited disc. So invited guests. So I don't actually have any picture discs. So this is the first one that I've actually owned. Again from Marillion. I'm slowly collecting stuff by. This is a £5, so not a huge amount of money, and that's just looking nice to sit on the shelf. A few 7-inches, a few singles. Got this Lou Reed, Perfect Day, and Walk on the Wild Side. That was £1. I think all these singles were £1 actually. Yes, and You and I, and Roundabout on the other side. This must be a re-release because those are from different albums. So Roundabout was from the album Fragile, and You and I from Close to the Edge. Both pretty long songs, so it's actually, yeah. So this is actually a 33 and a third single. Yes, I do like it. Besides, you probably tell I do like a bit of prog and rock. I also do like a kind of bit of 80s stuff as well. So bit of soft cell, Say Hello, Wave Goodbye. Yeah, can't really go wrong with that. Vienna, Ultravox. Yeah, one of my all-time favourite 80s songs. Yeah, from 81. Yeah, so interesting as well. Fun fact about Vienna by Ultravox. So it was actually didn't reach #1 in the UK charts. Only got to #2, and the song that kept it off #1 was "Shut Up at Your Face" by Joe Dolce, the novelty song. So that's a quiz question for you there. It's got this Altered Images single, which I don't actually know, and I haven't actually got around to playing it yet. So, yeah, we'll see how that turns out. I do try and prefer to get singles if they got like the proper picture sleeve. Not always possible. So those are all kind of 80s and earlier songs. But I've got a couple of more recent albums. More recent singles. So I've got this Ryan Adams, so not Brian, but Ryan Adams, So Alive. I thought this was quite a fairly recent song, but actually, I think on the back it says released in 2003. Yeah, so nearly 20 years ago. I guess that shows how time has flown. But yeah, yeah, nice, interesting to find this in a charity shop. Not often you get singles from the 2000s, and I think this is actually worth a few quid. Definitely more than the £1 I paid for it. And more recent, So a more recent song than that is something from 2016. So the band Grandaddy and Way We Won't. Again, I didn't know this, but I thought for a quid, something released in 2016. Again, it's probably worth quite a lot more than a pound. Not that I'm not collecting records to make money. It's just it's sometimes nice to be able to say you got a bit of a bargain or something. Yeah, so that is me pretty much up to date with everything I've been buying on album recently. Buying on vinyl, albums and singles. I hope everyone is doing well. Thanks for watching. So I get a few comments saying, "Oh, you find a lot of great stuff from charity shops. You must have some kind of magic or something." Well, they don't say that, but yeah, basically it's just perseverance. So I go to charity shops an awful lot, and I do find a load of crap, pretty much like everyone else. I get all the Barry Manilow and yeah, all that kind of stuff. I just go an awful lot, and I'm lucky that I've got some charity shops nearby me on the way to work, on the way back from work. So yeah, when I'm on the way into the office, I can kind of nip in on the way, or on the way back, and I do that a few times a week, and occasionally things turn up. So there is stuff out there. It's not quite as cheap as it probably was back in the day, and some of the albums I've got here are not like £1 or £2 like some people seem to get, but you know, they're probably still worth it, especially if it's something you want to listen to. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch up with you next time. Cheers.